It is admirable that the living human body is composed of materials common in nature. For instance, water that composes it by about 60 to 70% among other banal elements. Probably the cost of all materials in the human body would be in the order of 145 euros. However, it's certainly higher the value of life that these properly aggregated and integrated materials imply, probably priceless. Perhaps it is above 1 million euros. It's a multiplier effect of more than 7,000 times the total cost of materials. Wow! It's like an explosion of value. See, the human brain. It is a system composed of fat with 75% of water. However, it's amazing what it keeps in memory, which creates in computing and thought. What you create, what you know, how you can change the world. And about our planet, the Earth. Is it so original in its composition when compared to the other planets? Why is it different in our perspective? Why does Earth seem almost a living being, humans included, when it has no weird materials in comparison to other planets? The answer may be in the theory of systems, far beyond the 18th century mechanical physics, which is still the foundation of most present economic models. The concept of the system emerges from the thermodynamics that began at the beginning of the 19th century from Nicolas Carnot, and the theory of systems comes with the emergence of biotechnology in 1945 by biologist Ludwig von Bertalanffy. That is the basis of nature and all the most advanced human activities. Today, we observe complex systems in almost everything that surrounds us, from human society, the economy, in organizations and companies, in the military issues, or in the cities in which we live that became the true complex machines, more and more sophisticated. What matters is that the system constitutes a complex whole with a much higher value, even much higher, to the total cost of the elements that compose it. A system is like a group of simple elements to compounds, or in themselves subsystems, that interact and iterate to compose a unified whole. The system, delimited in its spatial and temporal boundaries, reacts and gains autonomy in the exchange of material flows, energy and information with its surroundings, with which it adapts and modifies. A complex system is therefore composed of many distinct parts, with distinct but coherent functions. From the simplest units that made up of more complex units, and these in turn make up other even more complex units, and this to the infinite. These units are part of a non-linear relationship, create synergies for the whole they compose. They complement and cooperate positively with each other, for which it requires high multidirectional connectivity among all units, which generates a communication that allows the adaptation to the environmental circumstances and variations. It is obvious that human-produced technology is still far below the technology developed and provided by nature. But this is one of the major challenges of 21st century engineering that must position itself improving human systems from organizations to their products and processes. It is necessary to improve the efficiency of our productive systems, accelerating the productivity of all kinds of capital, be it the human or any other. For example, it is necessary to minimize the extraction and use of the planet resources through eminent, limited, and some already exhausted. They should result in products and services with very high value recognized for all humanity. Nevertheless, in the last century, thanks to scientific knowledge and management, human technology has already achieved some positive evolution on this path of efficiency. Information technologies have greatly accelerated the exchange of data flows and information, allowing a slight evolution, but still far from natural systems. The standard industrial product at the beginning of the 20th century was the Ford T automobile, whose value of intangibles such as knowledge could represent only 10% of the total. So, the raw materials get the remaining 90% of the value. While the standard industrial product of the early 21st century can be considered the iPhone, whose value attributed to intangibles such as knowledge or marketing must represent more than 90% of the total value. A group of technology that still requires a lot of development because it falls far short of the leading technologies of this 21st century is the one related to real estate or its supplier construction, whose value attributed to the applied raw material has a predominant weight in the total value created. Despite the modern appearance of its architectural projects and the new concepts of use, its production processes are still very retrograde, little innovators, inefficient, with great waste, still dependent on empiricism, human muscle, or raw material little transformed. More than knowledge, planning, rational and creative processes. The real estate and construction industry need to develop models based on systems theory to gain much higher value than the cost of land and materials applied in the physical building. Thank you. If you enjoyed the video, please click on the like button below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you want to be notified, click on the bell. Thank you.